Do you ever find yourself trying to be spiritual and yet being miserable at the same time? Well, let's talk about that. Hello. I'm Reverend Sharon Renae, and welcome to this week's Sunday Inspiration, sponsored by Spiritually Centered. And today I want to talk about a topic that a lot of people don't know about, and it is called spiritual bypassing. So, what is spiritual bypassing, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked the question so that I can help provide an answer. So spiritual bypassing is that, especially when we are engaging in spiritual practices or religious beliefs and we are working to practice them, we are also in a state of denial of how we might actually be feeling. And so it's like, because we feel like we can't be spiritual and be sad at the same time. Now, when we are in a lot of misery and we are being ugly to people and things like that, we are not acting from a spiritual perspective. So I want to make sure that that is clear. But what happens with spiritual bypassing is that we are putting on a front. We are lying to ourselves, we're lying to the world, because we're not addressing the issue at hand. And the one thing that's really important is that we need to address these issues so that we can heal to be more in alignment with our spiritual path. And sometimes we really use that spiritual bypassing with others, right? But it's like everything was just meant to be. It's meant to be like this. It's okay. Sometimes a spiritual bypass might be that when we are actually moving towards a wonderful goal, but we hit a road bump, we go, it wasn't meant to be, and we stop what we're doing. But growth is uncomfortable, and so we have to move through that process. And we're also moving through this life and in this journey as in a physical world as human beings, right? And we are here to be happy, we are here to be abundant, we are here to be healthy. However, if we're not addressing the issues at hand, we are doing a spiritual bypass. So it could even be that, your roof is leaking and you keep saying, it's okay. It's really okay. I don't need to worry about that. At some point, Spirit will take care of it, and then your roof falls in, right? So there's certain things that even in the physical world, we need to put our attention to take care of. But spiritual bypassing can be very, what's the word I want to use? It can be very challenging. It can be very disruptive to our growth because we're not dealing with what we're trying to stick into the closet. We're trying to force ourselves to be something that we're not. And then we start to think that we're not good enough, we're not worthy, we're not deserving, that we're just freaking stupid. Those are all the things that we tell ourselves when we're working in this place of feeling unworthy, but also if we're trying to do a spiritual bypass. And the thing is, we can take this moment when we feel like we feel and take it into prayer and take it to the divine and, say, change me, beloved. Change me, divine beloved, to be the person to be able to let go of these things that are bothering me. Change me to be able to heal. Change me to be able to move through this. Walk with me. Those are things that we can do in this process. But spiritual bypassing can be a real negative thing, and we can actually push it too hard on other people. And it can be, again, when in unity we do this positive prayer and affirmation, and we're always about affirming. And that's about being mindful with our words, right? So we can start to change that. But also when we have that fear that we cannot go in and pray because we may not pray right, or somebody else says, don't pray for me, you're not going to pray right. There's a spiritual bypass in that because you don't think the divine knows what really is wanted. But the positive affirmations that we use are to help change that mindset. But if that change isn't working, that there's something deeper, it's okay to confront it, because that is part of our growth process. So no more spiritual bypassing. Let's go right directly to that source, to that pain, and say, what is going on and why is it here? And I am safe and able to still spiritually grow while moving forward. So until your next time, thank you for sharing with me, and namaste.
I told myself it's fine, I'd pray the hurt away, put on my Sunday smile, acting like I'm okay. Said everything's a blessing while burying the ache. Use the light to cover up the weight. No more hiding, no more shame. Ain't gonna use heaven to outrun the flame. These tears are holy, this breaking's true. Lord, I ain't pretending with you. I quoted every verse, I bowed my head in prayer, but hushing all my hurt, just left it sitting there. You never said I had to be strong still. You said, come on home, broken if I will. No more hiding, no more shame. Ain't gonna use heaven to outrun the flame. These tears are holy, this breaking's true. Lord, I ain't pretending with you. I bring the mess, I bring the doubt, I bring the parts I don't talk about. This here's my altar, raw and real, and I'm standing here, ready to feel. No more hiding, no more shame. Ain't gonna smile through